Welcome to the Essence of Life podcast. The Essence of Life podcast explores the timeless questions about life, such as what is the purpose of life? How can I find true happiness and lasting fulfillment? What is my inner calling and how can I live it? The podcast Essence of Life will explore these timeless questions from many different angles. My name is Barbara Ann Briggs, and I'm a certified teacher of Transcendental Meditation, the author of 2 books, The Contribution of Maharshi's Vedic Science to Complete Fulfillment in Life, and Pilgrimage on the Path of Love, which has been described as the perfect amalgamation of spiritual awakening and self-discovery. And I'm also a poet and a freelance journalist with numerous articles published in different parts of the world. The Essence of Life podcast is a podcast dedicated to exploring the very essence of life. What is the essence of life? The essence of life is hidden in the very silent source of life itself. But where is the silent source of life? How can we find it? It exists within the depths of our own heart, within the deepest layer of our own being. We have only to turn within to find it. The message we are seeking from life exists within ourselves. In stillness, it can be heard. In stillness, it can be found. Know thyself was the message uttered by the Delphic oracle. It is the quintessence of the quest every human being must embark upon. In this podcast, we will embark on a quest of self-knowledge together. It will be my great joy to share with you the contents of some of my published articles on topics such as saying yes to life, citizens of the universe, the sacred purpose of human life, how we shape our destiny, the Vedic ideals of womanhood. What is enlightenment? These are some of the questions we will ask and on which we will find the answers in this podcast, The Essence of Life. Years ago, while on a walk in New York City with an active friend of mine, he turned to me and asked, "What do you think is the most important word in the English language?" I stopped and pondered. I didn't know what he meant by that, but the first word that came to me was the word love. Love is the most important word. But then he shook his head from side to side, and he said, no, the most important word in the English language is yes. 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 Why? Why did he say yes was the most important word? We discussed it for a while, and he explained to me that yes, saying yes, is acceptance of what is. He said that yes opens us up to life itself. He said, by saying yes, we accept that everything that happens in life is for the very best. He also mentioned to me that saying yes is actually living in the now, living in the present moment. I can't say I understood everything he meant by those words. For years I pondered on this, and actually it was only recently that I began to feel that I understood why saying yes is so important in one's life. I was listening to a lecture by a Swami, and he also mentioned that saying yes is actually acceptance of the fullness of the now. Saying yes is acknowledgement of fullness. It is a celebration of life. Saying yes is accepting life as it is with an open heart. By saying yes, we actually pave the way for a brighter future. If we don't accept life as it is, if we grumble and try to push away what is, if we are unhappy with what is happening in our lives, and we say no to situations, we say no to unpleasant circumstances, the attitude of saying no actually creates obstacles. It creates obstructions in the flow of our life. These obstacles or stumbling blocks consist of our fears, our doubts, and unresolved inner conflicts. These stumbling blocks manifest as actually more problems, more sadness, and sometimes even disease. Diseases are caused by discontent, by a lack of ease inside. We cannot change unpleasant situations that we face in our life, that everyone faces in life. But what we can change is our attitude toward those situations. Saying yes is a state of openness where we invite the universe into our heart, just as the open petals of a flower invite the rays of sunlight. Saying yes is a state of acceptance based on an inner knowledge that everything that is happening is right and perfect and for the best. Furthermore, the very moment has been designed by the same supreme intelligence which has designed every blade of grass, every cell in our body, and every grain of creation. And that supreme intelligence is the same intelligence that exists at the very core of our being. That supreme intelligence has bestowed on us at this very moment the situation that is going to take us forward toward the ultimate goal of our life. Sometimes, as a boat is moving forward towards its destination, it has to turn around and go in the opposite direction. From the outside, it may seem to be diverging from its course, but actually, the captain of the ship has turned the boat around to avoid hitting an iceberg in its path. So even the apparent backward movement is a progression toward the same destination. Saying yes to life is knowing deep within our own hearts that everything that happens for the best. Saying yes to life enables us to gain more happiness, more strength, more positivity, patience, and faith. It helps accelerate a smoother, more rapid transition into the next, more evolved pattern of our life. The attitude of acceptance, gratitude, and openness frees us from worries, doubts, and inner conflicts. It actually helps the mind rise above disappointments, rejections, and losses which everyone inevitably faces at certain times in their lives. I would like to share with you a quotation by Maharishi Mahesh Yogi on this subject of relaxing with the flow of life. And I quote, "Enjoy your life and be happy. Being happy is of the utmost importance. Success in anything is through happiness. more supportive nature comes from being happy. Under all circumstances, be happy, even if you have to force it a bit to change some long-standing habits. Just think of any negativity that comes at you as a raindrop falling into the ocean of your bliss. You may not always have an ocean of bliss, but think that way anyway, and it will help it come. Doubting is not blissful and does not create happiness. Be happy, healthy, and let all that love flow through your heart." End quote. Another quotation, which I'm very fond of, was a quotation by a clairvoyant in a garden in Scotland, Findhorn Garden, and the clairvoyant was able to hear the messages of the nature spirits. And one message which she recorded is the following, and I quote, "Always look and find the unique flavor of a place and a moment, not wishing for anything different. For instance, on a rainy day, appreciate the good and go with it. Do something appropriate with the weather. Each moment has its own beauty, but this can be nullified by humans who resist the flow and so put themselves out of harmony. To go with the natural rhythms is far more important than you realize. Inspiration comes on all levels when you are relaxed in the flow of life." End quote. Saying yes to life means being relaxed and flowing with life. And saying yes also means that we would never ever entertain any thought of ending one's life. Life is a sacred gift. The purpose of life is to enjoy unbounded bliss. The purpose of life is expansion of happiness and radiating that happiness into the whole universe. Saying yes is the first step of allowing the influx of divine grace to flow unimpeded into our lives and wash away any stumbling blocks in the river of our life, so that that river can flow in perfect harmony with the eternal symphony of creation. I'd like to read you a beautiful quotation by the Dalai Lama, which encapsulates the message of saying yes to life. And I quote, "Every day, think as you wake up, today I am fortunate to be alive. I have a precious human life. I am not going to waste it. I'm going to use all my energies to develop myself, to expand my heart out to others, to achieve enlightenment for the benefit of all beings." End quote. Saying yes to life opens the window to eternity. When we open our hearts to the fullness of life by saying yes, we surrender our small, individual, ego-driven will to the mighty power of supreme intelligence. We open ourselves to the force of evolution, which administers the sequential unfoldment of every pattern of life in the universe. By saying yes, we flow in harmony with the heartbeat of the divine, in tune with the very source of all that exists. So that is what I wanted to share with you today about saying yes to life. Please subscribe to this podcast so that we can share many more aspects related to unfolding the very essence of life. It has been my great joy to to be with you today, and I look forward to many more episodes in which we explore the essence of life and embark on the quest of self-knowledge together.